Very dear, most respected Dr. Anil Sahasrabuddheji, Srimati Kavita Garu, Manishji, all the VCs and trustees of various universities who are present here, respected elders, sisters and brothers. We are all moving together forward in this evolutionary scheme of education. Life is nothing but an education. Main focus has always been education, be it external or be it internal, be it science or be it spirituality. This is all vidya that can enrich our life. I will come directly to the vital topic that is a burning topic today, these days. People often complain about youth that they don't believe, they lost faith. Faith in families, faith in parents, faith in education, faith in gods and goddesses. We have to re-look at our way of life. Who is contributing to all this? When a child says, I don't believe in God, versus when a person solemnly says, I believe in God, there's a big difference between the two. When a person says, I don't believe in God, is very honest. He's not making up stories. He's saying from the heart, I don't believe in God because I haven't experienced. But when we say, I believe in God, and put a full stop there, is it right? What is the basis of your belief? You believe because my father says so, or my mother says so, my religion says so, or my community says so, my Shastras says so. But what about you? On what grounds are you standing with such a claim that I believe in God? It is not that God does not exist or exist. That is not a dispute. Dispute is this, fundamental dispute, that this borrowed dogmatic belief system is losing interest because there is no substance behind it. You continue to believe in God and keep yourself soaked with wickedness and all the negative qualities. How is your child going to believe in you? When on the phone you see lies after lies after lies. Tell my son, please tell whoever it is, I am not at home. Children learn all these things. And at the same time you say, believe in God. How is that child going to believe your words? You have not given right sanskars. You don't have the basis on which your knowledge stands, your belief stands. You are creating castles of God in air, on sand, on water, without any strong foundation supporting this belief. We have often quoted this example of currencies, currency fluctuations worldwide. Why? Currencies weakens because of many things: political haywire, instability, resources dwindling. Earlier, before 70s, it was gold that was counted as backing the currency. Without this backing, currencies, they devaluate. Our knowledge also is useless without experience supporting that knowledge. We feel at odd. I believe in God, but many a time questions come up when you are undergoing some troubles, when you are restless, when troubles after troubles come your way, and so where is this God whom I have been believing? You may have been believing, but you remain satisfied only with your belief. You whitewashed the existence of God with merely a belief system. You did nothing about it. If you believe and take a next step of realizing, then there is some courage in you. Otherwise, remaining satisfied with belief is a wrong step, and that's why the youth remains misguided. Yugas after yuga, many personalities, they walked on this planet. Big ones are Lord Rama, Lord Krishna, Lord Jesus, Buddha, and many nameless ones like Kabir, Patanjali. All have a unique message. In essence, we can say Buddha, he stood for Nirvana. Mahavir stood for Kaivalya state. Lord Krishna, his philosophy of Sthit Pragya. Lord Rama, of a strong moral foundation. Kabir, he explains the final state in one simple sentence. It is like an Atman merging with Paramatman. He gives the example, raindrops falling on the oceans, becoming the ocean. Atmas, also like raindrops falling in that ultimate ocean called God or Paramatma. We become one with that. This is a wonderful, wonderful and inspiring idea of describing final state. Question now remains how to attain. Buddha has talked at length, Nirvana. Lord Krishna talked about Sthita Pragya. Kabir talks of raindrops falling in the ocean, becoming the ocean. Beautiful, beautiful, inspiring one. But how to? How will you attain those sublime ultimate states? Lord Krishna also talks about in Sloka 66, chapter 2, Adhyay 2. So I was talking with Yogi ji, Sri Yogesh Kochar ji. He is passionate about spreading happiness. How? Gamifying, making it more interesting for youngsters is one step, one positive step. You are making them walk towards the positive step. What if they fail with this? Will they trust? Will they trust us? Is there a room for success? Is there a room for failure with this? Lord Krishna says every jiva, not just human beings, every jiva is hankering after happiness. When you walk in this ashram, you will see centipedes, leeches, and all the small, small insects crawling. When it rains, they try to hide under some leaves. in some corner of under a stone. They want to protect, they want to be comfortable. And so, what is difference between little insects and us? We are also looking for some comfort. Is that happiness? Happiness, according to Lord Krishna, he says, you can never enjoy your inner state of happiness when it is also parallelly suffering with restlessness. We are all restless for something. At the same time, parallelly, we want some blissful states. It's not going to happen. You want to fly in the sky, at the same time, you want to keep one leg on the earth. You'll be torn apart. Spirituality is a very serious subject. So coming back to Sloka 266, it says every jiva is hankering after happiness. It is possible when one remains in a state of harmony. How to arrive at harmony? By remaining contemplative. How to arrive at contemplative state? With a focused mind. How do you arrive at focused mind? Regulation of mind. How do you regulate your mind? Through meditation. Now, we have heard this word so often, meditation, meditation, meditation can solve world's problem. But not the way we have understood the word meditation. If you look at Oxford Dictionary, meditation means thinking repeatedly of same object, continuously. According to Patanjali Maharaj, he does not define meditation like that. Sanskrit word dhyana means to transcend your mind. Transcending mind means going beyond activities of the mind. What does it mean by going beyond the activities of the mind? So we have to understand what is the activities of the mind. Thinking. Can we exist without thinking? So we need to regulate. Mind is not your enemy, according to our master. Mind can be your best friend. We can make it as a best friend, our own friend. Mind is not our enemy. By regulating, we can make use of mind in both the worlds, science and spirituality. We can make both the fields have some sort of an osmosis. Let science infect spirituality, and let spirituality integrate itself as a base in the field of science. There was a time, if you refer back to the history, Copernicus and Galileo, for example, in the Western world, they were the pioneers in saying that Earth is rotating around the sun. Our forefathers knew it. We did not have a fight with such claims. We believed it. Bhu-gold, Earth is round. These were the claims of our rishis, our elders. We did not dispute with them. But the religions of those days condemned these scientists. Galileo was poisoned because he believed in this. He told to the Pope that my signing this document, that it is the sun that rotates around the earth, is not going to change the fact. Earth will always rotate around the sun. My statement, changing my statement, is not going to change the reality. And for speaking such a truth, because he did not have a religious backing, he was poisoned to death. He was killed. Times have changed. Now, science is questioning spirituality. When an Indian woman wears this tikka, or when we fast on Ekadasi, many of us fast without even knowing, and that's why youth loses the interest. In New York, for example, if your wife is working, going to office, this tilak, and everybody asks, why are you putting this bloody stuff on your forehead? Oh, I'm married. It shows that I'm married. But you can wear a ring also. Anyway, not having a valid, convincing reasoning why we do what we do, we feel shy and we stop doing things for which we ourselves do not have answers. So weeks after weeks, this girl who is going to the office will stop wearing this tilak because she has no explanations and don't want to take a debate that we believe in such things. You remain busy every morning explaining to various people in the lift, in the office, in the bus. Who wants this trouble? So slowly it goes away. The real reason is something else. Why do we fast on Ekadashi? I have spoken at length on these two topics, and there are many other things. Thanks to some of these people who dwell in forests and villages, who are still continuing with certain traditions, not knowing why of what we do. We can unreveal all those things. I mean, we can remove the ignorance from all this and come up, meditate over the subject matter and come to the inner intuition and say, yes, it is because of this we do all this. And without going inward, without really going into deep state of revelation, you cannot appreciate it. Even if I tell you that it is because of this we do all that, you will still remain unconvinced because it is not your experience. It is not your finding. It is not your discovery. Indian tradition is not to pass on the knowledge, it is to pass on the experience. For experience, we have to do something. Gyan Yoga will not be enough. Falling at the feet of the Lord day after day, doing homage with tulsi and diya and agarbatti and throwing prasad at his feet is not going to solve the problem. I often say we have 3 H: head, the heart, and the hand. 3 H. All three are very important. Think, follow your heart, and do hard work. Hard work means tapasya. You have to do tapasya. Go within, go inward. Mr. Kavita was mentioning going inward. People have gone astray, they have lost the way. We are trying to find happiness outside. Outside dependency always creates a problem. Dependency means slavery. Even in husband-wife relationship, dependency is nothing but a slavery. There is no freedom. Husband won't give freedom to his wife, nor vice versa. And we are all lovers of freedom. And where there is no freedom, there is no happiness. So the root of happiness lies in freedom to think, freedom to act, freedom to have intentions. Even if a person wants to go to hell by his own volition, versus a person whom you are forcing to go to heaven, you think of it. Someone who is forced to stay in heaven against his will, that heaven becomes a hell because it is against his freedom. The freedom is primary thing, and we should not become also further slave of freedom. So-called freedom eludes us. India became independent. What has changed? In the real life of every Indian, what has changed? Superficially, some things. You can move around without being told, don't do this or don't do that. Is that freedom? Now more people are telling us not to do this, not to do that. At least in those days prior to 1947, you knew who were oppositions were. Today, they talk like you, they walk like you, they dress like you, and you don't know who are your enemies within the country. Anyway, we're drifting from the main topic. Topic is happiness, some level of freedom. Dogmas and beliefs, they will not lead us anywhere. It may be a good beginning, but it must inspire us to the next level of experiencing. Dogmas and beliefs belong to religions, Hindus, Christianity, Muslims, Buddhists, these are all limitations. Spirituality goes far beyond dogmatic knowledge. Spirituality is all about experiencing your own nature. Having experienced your own nature, then you will not have any question of God's presence. And next, having experienced, let us see if you experience it even once. Is it good enough? No. You like to retain such a meditative state, peaceful state if you like to call it, as it becomes more and more sublime, more and more refined. Then you say, I am on a right track. If that peaceful nature of within remains static, it's not a good sign. We have to move on. It must become day after day more and more sublime, purer and purer and purer, simpler and simpler and simpler each time. One gets fed up of such experiences because I have known it. I have experienced how frustrating it is to experience. How much beauty can you experience? There is also a level. Drunkard people say, oh, I love to drink, but how much can you drink? There's a limit to drinking. You'll be knocked out. Similar is the case. Yogis, they often talk of Satchitanand state, which is a quality of Sahasradal Kamal. Where absolute bliss prevails. Pleasure, joy, happiness, bliss. These are all various spectrums of the same thing. Comfort. And qualitatively further, if we see satisfaction versus contentment. Satisfaction, you're hungry, you had bread, you ate something. That is, after eating it, your hunger is quenched, you're satisfied. But you're hungry, and even though you do not have bread, though your stomach is hurting, your contentment will not change. Having things will not change. Not having things will not change your contentment. You are content despite of having or not having. Does that mean that I should not possess things? No. It does not convey the message accordingly. It only says dependency on outside thing makes you a slave. Going further into these experiences, day after day you experience things and you say, okay, my God, thank you for so many experiencing, but what next now? I am at peace. I have the experience of divinity. I am peaceful. I am calm. Next step is to become. I have experienced your love. I have experienced your peace. I have experienced your silence. I have experienced your compassion. But now, in experiencing all these things, I have to become those qualities. So, that is the difference between being and experiencing. Being peace, experiencing peace. Being compassionate, experiencing compassion. These are two different things. So we come to a level of becoming. I am becoming more and more divine-like. Not just experiencing divinity, I am becoming that. That is the call of spirituality. And one day, if God favors, we can say goodbye to such becoming also. Bliss that we experienced, blissful that we became, that also can be renounced. We can renunciate all this and be done with everything. We have gone beyond now. Furthermore, we cannot describe. And same thing our Vedas also speak. Entire Vedas and Upanishads, they talk positively. Entire Vedas and Upanishads, they have a positive message. But only in the end they say negative. What is the negative? Neti, neti, neti. Means not this, not this, not this. When they describe the final state, they say not this, not this, not this. What does it mean? What are they trying to convey? They say nothing in this world, not this, not this, not this, is comparable with the ultimate. So I pray that our boys and girls, various universities, colleges, they have to experience this. We have to give them the means to arrive at such lofty states. Lecturing them can inspire them, but we must force them, somehow coerce them to practice it. Just as we have a science experiment, Newton's law, various chemical experiment, biology experiment, great. What about spiritual experiments? So here what I recommend to our honorable VCs, our chairman sir, that let children pick up any meditation they want, any method. Tell them, find it from wherever, Google it, ask your father, ask your mother, ask your priest in your village or in your city whom your family believes. Nothing wrong with all of them. Collect the data. Divide the groups in each class. Do this experiment. 1 month this group, another, the same group will practice another method. Second group they all will exchange various methods. Having practiced it months after months after months and keeping the journal, they will be able to see which is good for them. Heartfulness way of meditation, all alone by itself, of course with others with comparison. But when heartfulness is practiced with pranahuti, see the shift in your consciousness. Meditation with pranahuti, meditation without pranahuti. And see how your consciousness takes a quantum leap. And see if you can measure it. How can you measure consciousness? That also you can share with them that we through EEG we can measure all these things, measure those waves, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. They're all measurable. But what is beyond delta? What is beyond turiya, the fourth state of consciousness? Our great grandmaster would call it turiyatit, means going beyond the fourth level of consciousness. We don't have such time to discuss this fourth and fifth level of consciousness. But one day we'll take up this topic in detail, how consciousness evolves. But this can be the research topics. Heisenberg's principle of uncertainty or uncertainty principle. Manishji mentioned one of the greatest scientists, Heisenberg. Why he could not convincingly prove the speed and location of an electron? Why? Because the instruments through which we were measuring, bombarding electron with the beam of electron, it's not going to happen. It will change the speed or the position because it is either the same or heavier than the object you are studying. But if you had a beam which is much more lighter than the electron itself, then you will be able to measure the speed and position at the same time. Grosser cannot measure the subtler. God is the most subtle. Sukshmati sukshma. You can never measure God. Thank you.